Assalamu alaikum. Lesson number 16, masculine and feminine, singular and plurals. So this is a very important lesson which we haven't done so far, and it will massively improve the understanding of the Quran for anyone who is watching these videos. So let's get started, inshallah. Remember, you need your pen, pencil, notebook, copy of the Quran. Actually, for this lesson, you don't need the copy of the Quran. For those who are going to be enrolling on the course, of course, or are enrolled on the course, you will need your copy of the Quran, because afterwards we'll go through some specific examples in the Quran. But generally speaking, just by understanding these principles, you will be able to understand the Quran just by watching this on YouTube a lot better, inshallah. So we've taken many examples from the Quran with the ayat, the examples that we give when we're looking at the different words that we have. And you would have seen some certain formats of words. Maybe you're thinking, why has it got waw noon? Why has it got ya noon? Why has it got alif ta? You might be thinking this. And why has something got not got a, like is ending without a ta, for example, ta marbuta, and why is it ending as it is? So inshallah, in this lesson, it will explain everything. So before we get started, masculine is mudhakkar. Masculine is mudhakkar. So let me just put the harakat on there. It's mudhakkarun. And feminine is mu'annath. That's a bit squashed up. Mu'annathun. Yes? So mudhakkar is masculine, feminine is mu'annath, and singular is mufrad. Mufradun. Not that you'll say dun, but and plural is jama'. Jama'un. Okay? Like, for example, you will see the word jami' in the Quran, which is used a lot, which means together. And of course, the plural is a group of people, which is who are together. So this is a masculine form of a word Muslim. Yes? So this, everything above this line is a masculine form. Masculine form. Anything below the line is the feminine form of a word. So for example, you will say, Huwa Muslim, he is a Muslim. Hiya Muslima, she is a Muslima. She is a Muslima, Muslim. In English, you would say, yes? So Muslim obviously is someone who submits their will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is classified as someone who has accepted Islam. So Muslim, the general case on this is dhammatain, as we already know, but it can take any. So the singular, this is the singular. So let's put that on there as well. This is the singular. Anything on this line is singular. Anything here is dual. So anything there is dual. Tathniya, and anything here is the plural, which is jama'. Okay, because remember in Arabic you have two types of plurals. You have two types of jama'. One is the tathniya, which is two people, and then of course you have three or more people. So that's important to understand too. Now, when you have Muslim, it can take an alif lam, no problem. This can take an alif lam, no problem. This can take an alif lam, no problem. And it will change the meaning from Muslim, a Muslim, to the Muslim, speaking about a particular Muslim. Same, alif lam can be added there. And of course, as we know, if you add the alif lam onto anything, then it removes one of the harakat. It goes from Muslimun to al-Muslimu. It goes from Muslimatun to al-Muslimatu. Yeah, or whatever the harakat is at the end, you will drop the harakat. So, but these ones, they don't change if you add the alif lam on it. These don't change if you add the alif lam onto it. It goes from so muslimani to al-muslimani, so muslimuna to al-muslimuna, al-muslimat. Yes, so that's no problem. So the two people, when you're referring to two people, there's two forms of this. As you can see, there's a slash here, and there's a slash for the feminine too. If you now got two Muslims together, it's called muslimani, and those who speak Urdu, they know they call Musliman. Yeah, so that's where I think the word comes from, because Urdu is a mix of Arabic, Farsi, Persian, English even, and other languages. So Muslimani. And what's the difference? And also Muslimaini also refers to two male Muslims. So what's the difference between Muslimani and Muslimaini? The difference is that this is going to be in the case of rafa', of a dhamma being added there. So this is not a waw, this is a dhamma, by the way. Let me just add that line there so we know. So this is a dhamma. So for example, if in language, and the people on the course will understand, who enrolled on the course will understand this a little bit more. That's one of the advantages of being on the course. Of course, we go into a lot more detail on this, and you have the time to do that in order to have weekly classes that they can opt for, and they can ask me questions. So Muslimani is dhamma, or dhammatain even, no problem, dhammatain, because if it's without alif lam, it's dhammatain, right? And if it's Muslimaini, then the case of that is that it would have a fathatain or a fatha on it, or even a kasra or a kasratain. So this Muslimaini, and normally you will see this and the subject is doing something, then it will be in the alif noon form. Remember when we're doing the plurals, Maldi and Mudari, we had so Mudari especially, we had yaf'alu, yaf'alani. Alif noon was added, remember? Alif noon, yaf'alani. So that's the same thing. That's the same thing. So alif noon or ya noon with the fatha before it and then a sakin is the sign that is two people. So alif noon, noon has a kasra there, and the fatha and the ya is a sign that is two people. Let's go to Jama afterwards. What's the difference? Muslimatun, any word which has a ta marbuta at the end there is going to be mu'annath, is going to be feminine. So it doesn't matter what word it is, any word which comes with the ta marbuta at the end, this is a masculine and it will take, this is a feminine and it will take feminine pronouns. So if you say this is here Muslima, here, so why can't I think of another word? You get the point, right? So all the words have flown at my head right now. Yes? Here mu'mina. Here mu'mina. So this is the sign that something is mu'annath. Now because the ta is there, we add the ta into the thing. So we have muslimani, but here we have muslimatani. The ta has added. The ta opens up to be a normal ta, and you put ta and then alif noon. And muslimataini, and the same thing applies here, that anything here is in the dhamma or dhammatain case, yeah, and anything here is in the fatha or fathatain case, or kasra and kasratain case, yeah. So inshallah, I hope that makes sense, that now we have, you can identify that the sign, the marker for anything which is mu'annath, anything which is feminine is the ta, and we also add the ta at the end there. So now we come on to the jama', three or more people. This is called jama' mudhakkar salim. You don't need to worry about that. So just, don't worry about it. Muslimuna and muslimina. So the difference here between this has a fatha and that has a sakin, and then there's a noon as a kasra. This noon, so this has a dhamma and there's a waw afterwards, not a ya, and the noon has a fatha. And this one, Muslimina, the word before the ya has a kasra, the ya has a sakin. I'm put the sakin on there because it's implied. It's following the natural mad. Because that's not following the natural mad, you have to put it on there. And then you have Muslimina. And this means three or more Muslim males. This means three or more Muslim males. And what's the difference between the two? The same as this. So I'm just going to put it here because there's more space. No, I'm not going to put it there because actually it's a different case here. So this will be dhamma. We'll put it in blue. This will be the case of dhamma and dhammatain. And then this will be the case of fatha or fathatain. And also kasra and kasratain. I hope you can see that, inshallah. Just pause the video and concentrate on that. So muslimuna and muslimina. That's why, for example, in Surah Al-Fatiha, we have Alhamdulillahi Rabbil, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alam means world. Alamun means many worlds, but it's the wrong case. Alameen is a grammatical. It's grammar which is affecting this to be alameen. Yes, it's grammar, not alamun. So that you have to many worlds, all worlds in fact here. Yeah, Muslimat. Now coming on to the jama' of mu'annath. Now here you add the alif ta. So we see muslima, but between them, before the ta you add the alif. So before the ta you add the alif and you open it into the ta maftuha, to the open ta. And that's how you know that this is going to be a feminine. So you add this alif and you open the ta, and this can take any case except for fatha. So jama' mu'annath, so the plural feminine word, does not ever take a fatha. If, for example, the case is of a fatha And this is a grammatical rule. And those who are on the course, sorry if I keep saying that, but I'm just saying that those who are on the course will understand this more because we go deep. We look at specific examples of the Quran. They will understand that this is also referring to a fatha, yeah, or fathatain. This is alif lam, then there will be a kasra underneath it. If there's no alif lam, it will be kasratain. But this is rafa', that's as normal, anything in dhamma case. But the ta, or the jama' mu'annath, the feminine plural, if it's kasra or if it's fatha, it will always take a kasra. And that's something that you just have to realize from the grammar. As you read the Quran, you will inshallah understand it a little bit more. So of course, this should give you an understanding that that's the singular, that's the dual, that's the plural. So now, especially you see waw noon, ya noon too much in the Quran. You see alif ta too much in the Quran. You don't see these duals as much in the Quran. There are some places, like for example, Ibrahim alayhi salam dua, Rabbana waj'alna muslimayni laka. Yeah, that make us Muslims, two Muslims. Then who is he talking to? Or talking about? He was talking about himself, and he was talking about وَجَعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنَ and Ismail alayhi salam, his son. So there's two of them there. So anyway, there are some examples. Now, of course, if you want to find out more how the specific examples of the Quran, click the link in the description, enroll on the course, as we're going to go through some of the specific examples of how this applies.